little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. About it, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. About it, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. About it, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. About this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hello, everybody. Let me just collect myself. And all that. It's pretty crazy being a live streamer in general. Like, it's kind of like trippy sometimes, meta or something. But then whenever you have like Pisces moon emotions, like I feel like it's, the show must go on. Oh man, there is a lot going on. And a lot of it is ugly. I don't really know how it gets discerned in my mind or whatever. I don't know how it gets categorized or filed in there. Don't ask me. I'm the last to know. But like some things just kind of stick in my head more than other things. Some things I read or see. And, one of the recurrent, kind of like comments or whatever that I've seen lately is somebody saying, sorry, I got a text. I began distracted, girl. What was I saying? I don't remember. Pisces moon. Yeah, no, I didn't play around. Okay. Oh, right. I remember now. Okay. So one of the comments or whatever that I think it might have been a reel or a TikTok. I don't know. It's all swirling around right now. This is the same week where the lady on the bus, the train, was also brutally, violently unalived right before our very eyes. And that's like a once in a lifetime type of thing you're not supposed to like really see. Like really, we are not meant to do this, y'all. We're not meant to even know about all the world's problems and stuff. When I say meant to, I mean like sort of biologically, but of course, like empathetically, emotionally, spiritually, and every other thing else. I mean, we all cousins. So of course, the empathy component, yeah, we are meant for that. But like, a lot of us are carrying the weight of the whole entire world on our shoulders, some people, of course, obviously more so than others, but truly collectively, all right, it's been a time. And just this week alone, it's been like, people getting slaughtered before our very eyes for doing things that are benign and ordinary and are supposed to be protected. Debating on a college campus, really, going home from your work at the pizza place or whatever, being text messaging on the train, And then on top of just these horrific things, like on top of that, a lot of things gets thrown. Biases, preconceived notions, prejudice, and we can't even talk about this without the biggest of all, propaganda. And I have definitely noticed in the last 5 years that, like, you really can't even trust, like, really your own eyes and your own ears. You just can't. Like, you have to confirm, reconfirm all these different ways, all these different times. And it's still, at the end of the day, it could be AI. It could be not what it appears. It could be Photoshopped. It could be anything you're looking at, could be coming from anywhere. How do we know where a lot of this information is even coming from? Sources close to the da-da-da. What? Who? The hell are you talking about? It could start to make you feel, I mean, I'm glad I'm out of the woods. Glad I'm out of the woods age-wise, girl, but I mean, schizophrenia diagnosis might be already present somewhere in my family. I might have already been a little like, am I going literally insane? That I don't trust anything that I see or hear. I don't even trust things I hear. And it's like, no, I'm not going insane. This is a collective issue we're all having. And so I think once you get your trust violated by your own institutions, your own government, news sources that perhaps at least one time, once upon a time, you thought maybe were like prioritizing telling the truth. And then once you have your like trust in an institution completely shattered, it makes you suspicious of everything, Like, this is such a suspicious act. Like, can we talk about how strange, a lot of this stuff is? Yeah, we can, but not right now. There's been a lot of very strange occurrences, a lot of patterns I'm noticing similar with this Butler, Pennsylvania, so-called alleged. I mean, who knows what's real? Who knows what's up, what's down, what's all around? We got 3 different clowns getting arrested yesterday, shown all over the news and all over the this and the that. And none of those clowns are in jail now. Now they're releasing pictures of another person of interest. Anytime a story is developing, even with giving every party the best of all good faith, you have to leave some room for them, people to be wrong. Wrong information comes out. You have to leave some room for that. People ain't going to be perfect. Agencies are not, of course, going to be perfect. Bureaucracies, when they're having jurisdiction battles with each other over, who's the daddy of the zone of the case, you could expect there to be some even good faith miscommunications, misinformation. Okay. But then once they admitted like elections have been, no matter which side of the political spectrum you're on, you got people, and I'm not on either side. I'm over here. I'm trying to really stay away. All right. I think it's kind of like cults, to be honest. Like, you can't even question it at all. It's like a religion or something. I don't want to be a part of it. Okay. But I know y'all are in it, and that's fine. I'm not trying to get you out. Stay there. That's fine. Or not. Whatever. No matter which side you're on, or if you're not on a side also, you got to admit there have been some foreign interference with our like elections, for example. No matter which side you're on. Like, the mainstream political parties on both sides admit to foreign interference in an election. I don't know which one, there's not all the same agreement upon which one. But all right, so then everyone admits. This means it's a mainstream narrative. Everyone accepts there's been foreign interference in something as, like an election. So, okay, fine. Then they will interfere for anything. And I'm just, distrustful of everything at this point. That's how I'm starting this live. And I think, that's, if you're thinking as a predator, as a hunter, not that that's something that I would like to do very often, but I do have to do it because know thy enemy. If you're thinking as a predator or a hunter of a prey species or animal or whatever, right? What kind of mental state do you want your prey to be in? Locked and loaded, staying on business, packed up, prayed up, ready to go up? Hell no. You want them running, shivering, sniveling, crying, making mistakes, making rash movements, isolating themselves from people who might be able to help them when your ass gets right up on them. I need to turn my notifications on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. I'm going to turn it on sleep. Okay. So I think we're all on the page of like, we're always being lied to by somebody somewhere. And probably at least sometimes we're not being lied to, right? We're all on the same page there. This is what I'm trying to get at. No, I was talking about the prey thing. Right. So let's say like, another country, another foreign nation is trying to kind of weaken another, foreign nation who perhaps is in competition with them for some reason. A really good way to kind of stir things up is to turn all the people there against each other. I mean, there's a lot of good ways. And there's just kind of a part of me that's kind of no, I refuse. I actually know exactly what they want me to do, whoever it is that's putting out propaganda that's false on purpose, because it happens. Not every day, not all the time, probably. But everyone can agree they've seen an instance of this. Media manipulation, propaganda, even if you don't want to accept it happens here in the United States. Can we agree, propaganda? So in the face of all of that, the truth is, y'all, the people don't stand a chance to know exactly any of the details of any of this stuff that's going on. Who's pulling the strings, who's in bed with who hates who. Really, we're just not in a position as the people to know. So then it kind of leaves you in a position where you don't have any power, you don't have any control, or at least it feels that way. And that's the mindset. So now it's just how can you organize? How can you even not be miserable? I mean, I think a lot of people it's miserable all day, every day. And it's you know what? I'm tired of that. It's always going to be another thing. It's always going to be another war. It's always going to be another shooting. And every single time it's here we go again, falling back into the trap. This one's fighting this one. They're screaming F words at each other in the halls of the Congress. They making it about religion. They making it about trans freaking gender. I think we can all agree. If there's any transgender cousins in the chat and you don't mind speaking on behalf of your own self, can we all agree that we just talking about transgender stuff way too much in the political, every side, every way, every aisle? Why? Every time something happens, it's transgender. Of course. Sometimes it's literally relevant. Of course. But in this case, you have that. You have, the bus thing, the black and the white and the race and the foreigners and the illegal this and just, my God, it's come on, y'all. You not tired? Isn't it just more fun to just don't you remember the 90s when we used to I don't know, kind of appreciate each other's stuff and culture and stuff? It's just getting too much. It's getting too much. I'm fatigued. I know y'all are. And then people are getting shot down dead. Little kids and stuff were at that thing. It was a family event on a college campus. And a sizable amount of individual, actual people making videos. You could see them. It ain't just bots. I'm sure there's a lot of those. Celebrating it is y'all, we living in a place where they got a death cult that has infiltrated our country, our nation. Our sovereign nation has been infiltrated by a death cult. And family members are in it. I got kind of sort of pulled into it a little bit. Thank God I broke free. Thank literally God I broke free. However, there is some stuff we actually do have control over. And that's what's happening inside your own house, your own apartment. That's what's happening inside your own body. The time you wake up each day, little putting a routine in place, actually cutting yourself off at a certain amount of time on the social media, actually truly going outside and actually touching the grass before it gets too damn cold. Yes, I'm talking to you. That's all within your power. I mean, of course, there's exceptions. I understand, some people has, maybe you're in the hospital right now or something. Prayers up. But if you just like kind of like leave your house and go like out into the open, that's even a little bit of a help. You know, like there's stuff that we have within our power, and that's all we can do, and that's what we should focus on. And so here, I have it within my power to some extent to moderate a certain kind of like vibe over here. I've been having the same few mods since pretty much the whole time. Every now and then a new one will sneak in. I think most recent, Oklahoma Outlaw, shout out to you. I also watch, other videos. I also am following this Charlie Kirk news like y'all are. And, I also see, I'm retweeting it. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. It hurts my soul. Because, one thing somebody said, and I respect this person and I agree with her, and it's what brought me to tears. She said, I've seen more leftists, which I'm not on the left or the right, so that don't apply to me, shedding tears over this conservative white man than shedding tears over the genocide going on. And I don't know if I'm even allowed to say, we all know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to lose my voice too. Okay. She said, I haven't seen people so upset about that as they are about this one man. And it's like, well, I've seen a lot of people upset about that. First of all, I don't even know factually that even, I need to see the numbers. But even if that were like factually true, I don't really think it's like people are sad and upset over a conservative white man. Some people, of course, are. There's people that are definitely making it about stuff. And to them, it is about that. But to me, and what I have control over is my perception. And what I believe, and what I actually choose to believe about most of my fellow people, capital P, of born everywhere, not just Americans, is that actually yeah, we all have room in our heart to be sad to watch someone publicly executed in such a way, no matter what their race, no matter where they come from. But also, it isn't just a conservative white man. We got to stop putting all this shit onto people. Sorry, I'm trying to stop cursing, but when I get really upset, it just kind of comes out. When we put all this extra stuff onto people, he's a symbol of this, a symbol of that. I mean, it could be true. But when every time you're talking about it, it's like, fine, let's put some symbols on it then. Doesn't it also kind of represent like not being able to debate on a college campus with a little different idea? Everybody in this chat, everybody that watches this video has been on the receiving end of somebody that's just like completely unreasonable and unhinged on some topic. And it's like, I can't even talk to you about it. Those people that are that extreme are also out here saying, ha ha, ding dong, Charlie's dead. They were playing acoustic guitar on the street last night saying, we got him in the neck. No, this is not just the death of a conservative white man, although it is, and that shouldn't be discounted really either. That's our fellow cousin. That's our fellow American. If you don't like what he had to say, you could have went and debate him. I mean, he was pretty available for that. I think that is the way that you should probably do that. There's people, and I have links and links. I don't even know if I'm going to bring them up. I have links and links and links to these people saying it's doctors, anesthesiologists. These are like the top level of the doctors. Okay. You got to go to so much school. You got to do so much patient this and that. Anesthesiologist. Isn't that the people that gives pregnant women an epidural in their spinal cord? You know what epidural is? It's fentanyl in your spinal cord, in it. Long needle. Sorry, cursing. Anesthesiologists saying we should listen to Charlie Kirk and not have any empathy that he got shot dead. What about the empathy for all of us that had to see that? This is a doctor. There was a nurse or some type of medical worker in her car with her scrubs on. She said, my coworkers were upset about Charlie Kirk. I said, good. I'm glad. A healthcare worker in scrubs. What if somebody comes into her emergency room, wherever she works? I don't know. I'm not going to go check, and I'm not telling anybody else to either. Because to some extent, yeah, I mean, they do have the right to think this stuff. They do. And I guess to say it. But it's like pretty overwhelming that these people that are in the health professions even. And it's like very strange that people are like, well, he was a straight white conservative man. Y'all, they really got to you. Shake it off. Shake it off. Remember the times before. I mean, I've been there. I certainly would have said some crass and horrible things in my past. I mean, part of the reason why I feel so like responsible to like condemn it. If and when I have ever said anything that's like this glorifying death cult thing, that was wrong. And I should not have said it. I understand sometimes like you get in the gallows humor, you watching people get shot dead on live stream. 2 days in a row, people dying on you see it happen, like it happened live. It happened. One is actually literally in real time live. I understand the like, haha, he. I love a little make light of a little situation moment, comic relief, but like, you know, it's was really it's whacked. It's whacked. Like it's cooked, it's fried. But like I see a lot of people doomsdaying out here, and I just been blocking people. I don't even consider it to be rude to block somebody anymore. I just got to protect my little bubble. Comments like this: America is falling apart. I'm reading. This is war. I'm reading. This creates radicals. But you know what? It doesn't have to. And America, I respect your opinion there, Laura. Thinking it's falling apart. I disagree. I think it could. I think it could start to fall apart, but I think we have a choice. I don't think it's falling apart. I think it's a changing of the guards. It just is across the planet. Look what's going on in Nepal, which I don't encourage. The Nepal government shut down the social media and the Gen Z rioted. The prime minister, the president, whatever, resigned. Yeah, they burned some stuff down. Yes, they did. But also they're like letting buses of tourists pass. They're cleaning up the streets now to take back over, their city or whatever. So it's like, is that how I would do it? No, I'm not encouraging that. I don't think that's what we should do. Nepal and the United States of America are not the same. Everybody's got their own issues to deal with. I have very little education about what's really going on. And I'm sure there's been some crazy stuff that's bad too. Okay. But I don't think anything's falling apart. I think it's, you turn on the light and the cockroaches start running, girl. And it's part of changing of the guards. It's a turning of generational control. That's why guardianships and conservatorships are such a big deal right now, because they're trying to take this generational wealth that's transferring, because the old guard is on its way out. Thank you for your service. And we do have a choice how we act in our house. We have a choice how we act when we go to the Trader Joe's. We have a choice over our own health to some extent, over who we look and listen to and block and keep on, over how many more of those videos that already know piss you off that you're going to watch. But as for me and my house and me and myself, I'm going to stand with the people. I'm going to stand with the freedom of speech, even when it's stuff that I don't like. When it's speech, you shouldn't get shot dead for it. I'm going to stand with that. I'm going to stand with Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, atheists, Jews, Sikhs, Jains, all of them, everybody, every nation, every language. I'm standing with the people, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay. And I just wanted to set that tone. I mean, I know I've been doing this 25 minutes now, but like I really did. Like I just felt like I needed to set a certain like tone, because like out there it is just It's like, okay, come in the house, sit down with the cousins, get your sweet tea, your water, your moonshine, whatever, girl, muscadine wine. Yes, it is crazy what they are doing out there outside the house. Okay, it's crazy what they're doing. It's not okay. Some of them's brainwashed. Some of them real deep down in there, they're like a good person and stuff, and they're redeemable. Some of them are sociopaths, and it's really not our business to even decide what's wrong with them. Just block them. You could do that. But we do have certain stuff within our control, and I just want to remind you of that. Actually, it's a lot. Actually, it's a lot. What your kids do, see, hear, to some extent, I know you can't control it all, but how you behave, how you respond. And so I wanted to take the opportunity to do what I could do on the very small zone of what I have some type of control over to some extent, which is this little platform right here. So hopefully everybody's been able to calm down a little bit, take the temperature down from whatever was going on outside the house. We've cooled off. Let's get into the breaking news. Put a timestamp in the comments and let the people know when the actual story, when the actual video starts. I was going to say sorry, because I know y'all wanted me to start the video, but I'm kind of not. We needed to do that. That was necessary. Put a 1 in the chat. It was necessary. Okay, so there's breaking news. Well, I guess it's not that breaking anymore. Maybe about an hour ago, the FBI released some photographs, some pictures of the supposed alleged suspected, what words are they using? A person of interest. Person of interest. The FBI released photos of a person of interest. We're going to take a look at those. And also, the FBI, breaking news, is offering a $100,000 reward. Oh, wait, this isn't even the press conference. Hold on. For information that would lead to the identification or whatever of the suspect. So we're gonna read their release as well. Let me update my little scrolling thing. Killer is still on the loose, last I checked. Okay. So what are we doing? Okay, so Charlie, Kirk updates, live updates. Because, people come in and out and then they don't know what's going on. They're looking at that banner. It's confusing. Okay, Charlie, Kirk, live updates. And then what? FBI releases pictures of, quote, person of interest and offers a $100,000 reward. Okay. So that's updated. Let me pull up the FBI photos that they released. Okay. Yeah, Boda, that was from earlier. Oh, don't cry, Meg. Or do cry. Actually, do cry, y'all. Because I feel like actually it's good for you or something. Yes, I did see the Jezebel post. We will be going over. Oh, well, we will be going over that too. If yeah, that's like pretty much one of the first few things on the agenda. So yeah, we're gonna go over the Jezebel article. Okay, wait. No, my banner ain't on here, girl. Get your stuff together. Okay. So here is an article. This is BBC News, but it's, the same two pictures were released everywhere. FBI releases images of person of interest and offers $100,000 reward for information. Okay, he's going to be going to Arizona. Let's scroll back just a little bit. Okay, I'm just trying to see how far back I want to go on the updates here because we might as well just update. Well, I guess let's just do the images first so y'all can at least see those. Okay, so here's the image of him. I'm zooming in. I mean, it's grainy. He's got some type of black or gray baseball cap. Now, this is a person of interest. That means it's not, he's not being called a suspect as of yet. I'm trying to figure out, is this some type of Lego character on top of a globe with an American flag? I mean, it's hard to tell. Oh, it's that Legend of the Home of the Brave. Oh, maybe it's that. Does kind of add up. That does look like that. Okay. Searching for clues in the FBI images of the person of interest. So there's one. There was another image also. So let me go on X and get that one. The FBI released it on their Twitter. FBI Salt Lake City. Here you go. This is the second picture. So this is the FBI Twitter account. We're asking for the public's help identifying this person of interest in connection with the fatal pew pew of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Call 1-800-CALL-FBI. There's that first picture. And then look how he's just walking right by this one right here, this guy with the white shirt. And then this is the other picture of the person of interest. So dark colored baseball cap, dark colored sunglasses, dark colored hoodie, fists clenched in the Arthur clench, and jeans. No bag, no rifle that I can see. So it does raise questions. Thank you so much, Tatum. Shout out to you for the $19.99 super chat. Thank you, BJ. Lots of love to you. Thank you so much. Shout out to Tina becoming a member. Thank you, Bailey. Tatum and Bailey, what a treat. Thank you for the $19.99 super sticker. Thank you, Tinfoil Cat, for the $5 super chat. I just want to spread some love today, especially if we disagree. Love is the highest vibration, so let us all start putting out love and understanding. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. It doesn't look like a backpack. No, I mean, look, let me pull it back up. That looks like it's something on the wall. Like, see how the wall has like stuff on it? Maybe he does have a backpack. Oh, there is something right here. There is something. Maybe it's a backpack. I don't know. It's just so hard to tell. He could have a backpack on second glance. I don't know though. For sure. Okay, so okay, the kids are coping. That's good. Okay. Searching for clues in FBI images of person of interest. BBC Verify is trying to examine the two images released by the FBI showing a person of interest in the story. We ran the two images through face recognition engine to see if, or face search engine, to see if it could find similar faces. But owing to the low resolution of the images and the fact that the person is wearing dark sunglasses, a face search was not successful. It's worth remembering that the authorities said last night they were working with information from CCTV. But you can guess what the quality of that is. Yeah, they did say that at the last night's press conference. We also did a reverse image search on the black top with a design in the middle where we were able to find similar images online. We think it may be an image of an eagle flying with a background of the American flag, which is a popular design in the US. Yeah, and that would have made him kind of blend in with the crowd or with the college students, which is what the authorities said this morning. Based on the low resolution, it's not possible to work out whether there are any words written on it. Okay, so yes, the shooting leads to misinformation online. And who could be planting this misinformation? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. As we write this, there's still no confirmation about the identity or motivation of the person who pew-pew yesterday. But that hasn't stopped people on social media from attempting to identify a possible suspect immediately after the pew pew, which has led to multiple cases of misidentification. Well, again, we're seeing this again. This happened in the Emmanuel Harrow case. That's not exactly right. It's not just like people on social media. It's the news. It's the mainstream media. And they happen to have social media platforms, but it's not like people on social media are the only people. Actually, the whole entire FBI, the full brunt of the FBI is looking for this guy. And they told us this morning that they rely heavily on our help, the public's help. So I think that's just fine for the people to be looking for the person. Left or right, it's the same bird. There it is. Online users first seized a video of a man being apprehended by police on site. It was later confirmed he was not involved, but footage of him being described as a suspect is still circulating. And if y'all were following my coverage, I did not share it because of this exact thing. I was like, they're giving me misinformation. It's probably the literal CIA or somebody done planted this freaking guy out there. Let's be honest. And there's a man out there, and I'm going to show you the video because now I know they don't want y'all to see the video. So now I'm going to show it, but I didn't want to at first because I didn't think that guy was the suspect. I didn't think he did it. I needed more information. There's a lot of stuff that I have been sent. I have not even mentioned because it's like, I don't know if that's true. I'll give you an example. This supposedly the person who allegedly was the shooter but disabled their main account, that Omar thing, right? Like whenever I brought that up, I was like, I don't know. This is just a tip. I don't even know if this is real. Come to find out it's maybe not. The first guy actually got arrested and taken away and charged with obstruction of justice. And you will see in the video when I bring it up and show it to y'all that the guy, this old man, is screaming, "Shoot me!" over and over. I wouldn't blame somebody for taking out their phone and getting a little video of that and putting it online. But here you have the BBC, which makes sense because y'all don't really barely have no freedom of speech over there. So of course, over there in the BBC, shout out to the UK cousins. I'm so sorry y'all stuck over there with the no free speech. I mean, we don't really have it over here either. We get, assassinated on college campuses or whatever. Anyway, it was later confirmed the man wasn't involved. There were also attempts to pass off old footage as related to this of U.S. comedian Sam Hyde, whose images holding a pew-pew regularly get shared in the aftermath. Okay. Misidentification is very common in the aftermath of pew-pew events as people try to get quick answers in a rapidly developing situation. Right. And a lot of times it's good faith. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. And I would agree with this. It's important to be extra cautious when sharing information, naming individuals in the immediate aftermath. I would agree, but once the mainstream starts doing it, then you don't need to be tisking at social media. His body will be flown home to Arizona on Air Force 2. That's JD Vance is starting to give me like a weird scalp tingle. That's JD Vance's, like the vice presidential plane. Vice president flew to Salt Lake City today to retrieve the casket and will transport it to Phoenix, where his family lives, on the vice presidential aircraft. Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance will travel with Kirk's family and some of his friends to Arizona. Body was transferred from the hospital to the medical examiner's office on Wednesday night, authorities said earlier. Okay, and he was influential. So I want to show y'all the FBI reward tweet. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the individual or individuals. See, they put that little S. I'm telling y'all, check the freaking group chat. Responsible for the of Charlie Kirk yesterday, September 10th, 2025, at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. If you have any information you want to collect on this $100,000 reward, you can contact the FBI via telephone at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI. And you can submit photos and videos to FBI tips.fbi.gov. There's a link here. Here, I'll share it in the chat. Maybe one of the mods, if somebody's in here, can go and put it as a comment too, because the chats go away. Check the freaking group chat. Right. This is another one, Valkyrie. This is another one had my head spinning. There's a whole side plot going on, y'all, with like this plane. There's a plane. And again, y'all, this is all just like social media speculation as far as I know. I do not have any expertise on how to check a flight log, a flight pattern, or any of that. Okay. So as far as my like grain of salt I would take it with is just it's a post on social media, but like Candace Owens is tweeting about it. So, I mean, it'll probably end up getting some traction. It's DB Cooper, stop. I've been Shania Twain, 420. I've been seeing a lot of people say that. Anyway, the plane like goes on, you know, you can track it doing certain things for a certain time. It's leaves town, like it leaves the airport. There's the airport 5 minutes away. They didn't shut the airport down. This is what the post says, right? Then a plane was able to leave like an hour after the Pew Pew event. And then it, you know, you can track it leaving, but then at some point, some type of tracking something goes offline. Now, I don't know if that's the only thing tracking. I'm not an expert, but you know, I start racking my brain on it and it's like, you know what, there's just so much stuff I don't know about it. I just can't. The university has a flight school with a 24 plane fleet at the Provo Air. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure there's people that are going to be doing, you know, lives and breakdowns and videos. For me personally, I'm going to leave that to the air flight experts. I don't know how to even search those databases truly. When somebody puts it together succinctly or like, you know, ABC is talking about it, I'll read it. But I don't have enough expertise to speak on it. And I really am not trying to, you know, say something wrong or uninformed. Christina, there is no group chat. I'm not in a single group chat except maybe the one I'm in with my sisters or something. I don't do group chats really. I'm not in group chats with anybody on YouTube or anything like that. So when I'm saying the group chat, it is my suspicion, belief, and opinion that this Charlie Kirk situation was orchestrated by a group of people. So I guess you could call me a traditional conspiracy theorist. I believe it was a conspiracy amongst a group. And so how do groups communicate in the modern day age is the group chat. You know, I say the group chat. And it's also like I have a lyric in one of my songs where it's like, won't be long till you share it in the group chat. It's just kind of like a thing now, but it's probably going to be a Discord, a Reddit, a Telegram, whatever you want to call it. You know, these places, it could be on Twitter, it could be on Instagram. I don't know, but I'm thinking there's an iMessage, there's a group chat, these people coordinating, and I'm saying, check it. I don't know where the Discord is, girl. I'm not in it and I don't want to be in it. I'm just saying the FBI probably got it. Get on the phone, get on the devices and get to the group chat, get to the chat logs. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So we were looking at this. Oh, this one. This is the, did I put it in there? Here, I'll put it in there again. In case I didn't. That's the tip line. Oh my God, there was a terroristic threat in my chat just now. Don't worry, I hit him from channel. Okay, so this is where you can put your tip. I don't have any tips to give the FBI, but that's the form. What next? The Jezebel article, shall we? Actually, no, I want to do one other thing first. On my last live that I was on, Garden State Accountability sent me this Instagram video. Let me see what it is. Hold on, make sure it doesn't have the video.
Yeah, and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this yet. We don't know if this was the supporter.
Okay. I was talking in my last live earlier this morning about how someone from MSNBC had got fired because he made some, untoward comments on the air last night during the live coverage. So he immediately got fired. Shout out to Dolce Farniente for the 99 super chat. Sassy loves you. Shout out to Sassy Squirrel acting up. Thank you for the 99.99. Put some emojis in the chat. Some squirrels in the chat for the very generous super chat and for Sassy. Okay, so I was talking about on my last live, the one earlier this morning, how somebody got fired. Somebody got fired from MSNBC, which is different than NBC News. Got fired pretty much within hours of making these comments, and he had actually sent me the actual clip. So these are the comments that did get him fired. Hold on.
Off in celebration, or so we have.
Hold
no
on,
idea,
I'm gonna start it over. How do I do that? Where's the? All right, let me refresh. Hold on. I want y'all to hear the beginning. There we go. Play. It's not freaking playing.
The full details of this, that we don't know if this was the supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea. But
playing it again.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was the supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea. But
that wasn't the full thing he said. I want to find the full thing he said, because there was a whole second part of it. What was his name? Matthew Dowd. Fired comments. Okay, let's see. That's Sky News, Australia. Let's see.
Yeah, and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was the supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts.
That kind of sounded like a threat. Like, it sounded kind of threatening and ominous a little bit. Like, if you have an opinion, you're getting shot. That's basically what I heard. I mean, I don't know. That sounded like a threat. Wow. Anderson Cooper too, Crystal. Wow, that is crazy. No, that's very hateful. That's very hateful. I rebuke. I do not approve.
In which a shooting like this happened.
Hate to be just assaulted with the speaker noise. Okay, so are we ready to talk about the witch? Let me update my banner so when people come in, they know what I'm talking about. Okay. The killer is still on the loose from what I've last heard, but we need to talk about the Jezebel witch, the Jezebel Etsy witch hex. It would be funny if it didn't work. Oh my God. I have so much to say. Let me update my banner. The Jezebel Etsy witch hex curse explored. Okay. I want to do a poll, because I actually want to know, have y'all heard about this already? Or are you hearing about it first time on my channel right now? I just want to start getting like a little bit of oh God, I'm going to get echo. Hold on.
Time on my channel right now. I just want to start getting like a little
okay. Let me do a poll, because I want to start getting a better idea of stuff y'all have already heard and stuff that I'm telling you for the first time, because I assume a lot of times y'all heard all this stuff before. So I'm like, let me just ask. So if you haven't, I'll give more of an explanation. I just don't want to bore people with stuff they already know in general. But had you heard of the Jezebel? I have to pause myself. This is so meta. It's like when you echo in the phone, except visually. Had you heard of the Jezebel Etsy witch curse before my video? Yes or no? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for voting. It also helps, people come and see the video, I think. I don't know. I don't know how the algorithm works. I always assume that I'm just fighting an uphill battle. Okay. We're on the article. Here we go. Okay. So Jezebel, a publication I haven't really read since my wokey feminism days, which I still think, equality is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But you know how it is when you get too deep in. I haven't read them in a long time. Kind of forgot, they fell out of my own consciousness or whatever for a while, my memory for sure. But look at the title. We paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. If the far right misogynist with a bad haircut wants to villainize independent women, Jezebel is more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. Now, I want to start this off by saying I rebuke, and anything gets sent over here gets something back. All right. 10 times, 9 times, whatever. So we all cousins. Your ancestors like me more than you if you're trying to hex me for sure. Cut it out. So I just want to say this for informational purposes. And then I had this lady earlier on Twitter. I say lady, it was probably a bot. Should I pull up that tweet? I did take a screenshot. Put it on the chat if I should pull up the tweet. I'm trying to. How do I open this in its own? Hold on. It's so hard to navigate technology when you're just not trained at all. I always joke and say that's how y'all know. That's how y'all know I'm not a corporatized plant or something. I would have much better technological goings on of things. Okay, I'm sending this picture so that I can show y'all of this lady earlier talking to me, making fun of me on my own Twitter. And my response. Oh my God, there was someone else. That was crazy. I can't believe this. I've been traumatized by people today in these chats. They are insane. Not chats, excuse me, comments. Do I not have it? I guess I don't even have it on my phone. I guess the Lord said no. Okay, moving on. I'll just read it to y'all so you can at least know what it said, but you don't get the visual. Sorry, I tried. So I reshared this article on Twitter. I retweeted it and I said, "Oh no, I rebuke." And what is the article? It's we paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk, and it came out on September 8th. 2025, that's when the article was published. And guess what? He died on the 10th. Okay. So they've now had to update the article. We're going to read it together. But I retweeted it. Simply retweeted it on Twitter. I'll put it on my, make sure you're subscribed. I'll put it on my posts later. This screenshot, Diva Dynasty. I said, "Oh no, I rebuke. Return to sender times 9. And Diva Dynasty said, "Y'all believe this stupid shit?" And laugh emoji, dead skull emoji, laugh emoji, dead skull emoji, laugh emoji, dead skull emoji, laugh emoji, dead skull emoji again. Orange heart. Okay. Well, the orange heart's in the name. I'll show y'all in my post later. But yeah, I do. And it's kind of like, gravity. Whether you believe in it or not, you bet not step off the side of the Empire State Building and want to live to tell the tale. You know what I mean? You could believe in anything you want to believe in. Yes, I do. But what I don't believe is that any of it formed against me shall prosper, because I don't consent. I said freaking no. So what else? Okay. So this was probably pretty bad timing, you would think. Either you believe in witches and things or you don't. Do I think these witches are the reason Charlie Kirk died? No. No, I don't. But it ain't a good look. We can all agree it looks pretty bad. We hired witches to kill them. I mean, no, excuse me, not to kill. That was on my mind. We hired witches to curse them. Y'all, First of all, that don't work on me. First of all, I just want to make it very clear. That doesn't work on me. It doesn't work on me. But even if it did work on me, there was already witches in my chat before, and they said they're the good kind of witches, and they're going to do their own magical witch battle with the bad witches, and I'm going to get to be left out of it. Okay, so I'm good. I'm Gucci. So, yeah. Extreme Blackbirds, or whatever she had said. Okay. This article came out 2 days before the man was tragically and violently executed before our very eyes. And they done added an editor's note. It says this story was published on September 8th. Jezebel condemns the shooting of Charlie Kirk in the strongest possible terms. We do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence of any kind. But it's like, does something feel a little bit kind of like contradictory about this? Like, yes, I know that getting an Etsy witch to do a curse isn't the same as picking up a pew pew and executing someone. I mean, obviously. But like, it's pretty extreme. You paid money and hired someone to do curses on a guy you don't know and never met for what? I'm like, he must have done something really bad, right? He must have done something so bad. And truly, I don't know this man and what he talks about from Adam. The things that I've seen him say before, generally, he's off-putting. He's off-putting to me. I don't really agree with the stuff he's talking about. Most of it. I can't think of a single thing I ever agreed with him on, actually. Maybe I did agree with him, but I just can't think of anything. Okay. So that's my perspective on this guy. But like, paying an Etsy witch to do a curse on somebody seems like a bit obsessed. Like, I actually think that should be a crime or something. Like, if you're writing an article admitting it, like, what? You paid Etsy witches to curse somebody and then they died 2 days later. So then here they are. Oh, we don't encourage political violence of any kind. Well, let's do an A-B poll or a Y-N. Let's do a Y-N. Y for yes, N for no. Actually, no, I want to do a real poll because I actually want to know what y'all think. Is this violence? Would this be considered political violence? Getting witches to cast a curse, a hex on somebody just because they're a misogynist or whatever, like because they're Charlie Kirk or whatever, whatever you perceive this to be. I won't even define it. Because they're a misogynist. Let me end this poll. Okay, so y'all hadn't even heard of this. 76% of y'all out of 546 hadn't even heard of the Jezebel witch hex curse story. Thank you for participating in that poll. I'm going to end that one. I want to ask another one. It's going to be a yes, no. Okay, you're a lawyer, you're doing your lawyer, you're doing your, you're in the court. Would this action/article by Jezebel be considered political violence of any kind? I feel like this is like taking it another extra step than just telling an opinion. And y'all are out here saying the man needed to get killed for his opinion. So this is like taking your money, paying somebody to do a curse. So I'm thinking this is even more extreme than him. No matter what he ever said. Okay, there's the poll. Would this action in the article by Jezebel be considered, quote, political violence of any kind? Okay. And, you can use your own rubric or what you think they mean, right? I think they would consider this to be political violence. So I don't know why they're saying we do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy, unhinged, lunatic behavior, even if you don't believe it's real. Like, especially if you don't believe it's real. If y'all out here that don't believe it's real, like witchcraft and stuff, You should think this is even crazier because someone paid money and did this whole thing with witches that's fake and then wrote a Jezebel article about it. Like, this is truly beyond the pale. Whether it's violence, to me, I'm kind of on the fence. That's why I wanted to see y'all's votes. Maybe y'all can persuade me. But for me, like, I think unless you like pick something up and act physically on someone, it's not violence. But like, you know, I think it could encourage it. I mean, should this be illegal? I kind of already said it should be. I think it's very invasive. I think it's too low and I think it's wrong. I don't know why I think that. I just do. Okay, so let's read the article. And again, this came out just 2 days before Charlie Kirk was tragically, and right before our very eyes, no longer with us in the human realm. Paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. And if the far-right misogynist with a bad haircut wants to villainize independent women, which that does sound pretty bad. Why would you villainize independent women? That sounds unhinged. Let's see what the evidence is, though, before making any judgments. That's what I'm going to do. But if he could do that, then Jezebel is more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. The internet has ruined me in 1,000 ways, the author says. Who is it? The author they don't tell us who wrote it. Just by Jezebel. Okay. But one of the internet's strangest gifts is that I now can buy a curse as easily as I can buy a phone charger. That might be a problem. I don't know. I explain some things, huh? On the mystical website Etsy, you can find a spell for just about anything. Don't want it to rain on your wedding day? There's a spell for that. Want the man who cheated on you to develop an incurable rash or premature balding? The Etsy coven has you covered. I feel like I have to make a disclaimer because this is something I know to be true. None of this stuff comes without a price. And I'm not talking about the price you pay for it on Etsy. If you somehow manage to get your hands upon some type of powerful witch spell curse that actually makes somebody go bald, which, how you can prove that, and all that. But let's just say, that don't come without coming back on you. Any witch will tell you the same. But maybe not when they're trying to sell you something. Anyway, the internet has its downsides. Exhibit A, Charlie Kirk. Let me turn it on reader view. But the internet has its downsides. Exhibit A, Charlie Kirk. Maybe it's his obsession with telling women what to do. Okay, that's one. I need to start a list because I want to know what he did that's so bad. I definitely find him aggravating and annoying. Like, he's not my cup of tea, but like, people freaking hate this guy. So I need to know what's about the obsession telling women what to do. Because I don't want nobody telling me what to do either, but I haven't seen the evidence of this. Or his aggressively large head. Could be that one. That one I might have seen. But the far right podcaster's presence is more irritating than most. This person writing the article says. That's when I remembered. There's Etsy. These days, witches cater to more than just personal grudges. And it's not uncommon for them to channel their energy toward thwarting Republicans. There's even a subreddit devoted to casting nightly hexes on Donald Trump. Are you interested in punishing Charlie Kirk, for the years of regressive rhetoric he's shouted at America's youth and anyone within earshot? Here at Jezebel, we're about to find out if there's a spell for that. This came out 2 days before he died. Who is Charlie Kirk? If you've never heard of him, I envy you. He debates college kids for sport, pops up on Fox News, and founded the right-wing conspiracy theory factory Turning Point USA. Billed as a non-profit, Turning Point is less about charity and more about funneling far-right propaganda into dorm rooms under the guise of educating young voters. Through these various ventures, Charlie Kirk has transformed into a reliable pawn, parroting Project 2025 talking points and championing the owning of the libs. He's basically a fake news vending machine with a terrible haircut. Sadly, Trump's reelection only ensured I'd be seeing more of that god-awful haircut. A cornerstone of Kirk's nightmare ideology is his insistence that since gaining more independence, Western women are more miserable than ever. Okay, that sounds bad, I guess, but where's the link? Where's the footnote? I want to go see for myself. I don't know. This woman seems a little bit unwell, since her chosen course of action as a journalist is to get an Etsy witch to hex somebody she never met. So I don't know if she's the most credible source. I think maybe he did say this. I don't know. The article goes on. He tells auditoriums full of young women that our freedom, so it is a she, that our freedom is a flaw, not an achievement. Well, that's pretty messed up if he says that. I mean, but I still don't think he should have got killed over it. I think my grandpa probably thinks that too. I don't want anybody gunning him down. He's obsessed with declining birth rates and idealizes the 1950s. Oh my God, what a criminal. Wow. He is obsessed with declining birth rates and idealizes the 1950s. I'm waiting for the bad stuff. When women's only job was tending to children and their husbands. If we all abandoned our careers and returned to motherhood, we'd be happier, according to Charlie Kirk. Indeed, he fails to realize that I would be happiest if he would just shut up. Throughout history, society has branded bold and assertive women as witches to silence them. Since Kirk already assumes every liberal, college-educated woman is a feminist, wait, does he say this? This is saying a lot of stuff. This is extreme. Did he say this? If so, it's extreme. Did he ever say, I assume every liberal, college-educated woman is a feminist witch, hell-bent on destroying civilization, even recently declaring that the Jezebel spirit. I think I said that about that Amish lady yesterday. So Charlie Kirk apparently said that Jezebel spirit has just infected an entire generation of young ladies. And then Jezebel's spirit said, shout out. So the demon spoke directly through this author. We are reclaiming it, the Legion. The we is the Legion, I think. So it's all women, but then Jezebel, we. Okay, got it. If Kirk wants a villain, I'm more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. Ugh, that sounds scary. Okay, and then there's a disclaimer. The ethics of cursing a stranger. Now, is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. No, it's not. This is false. It's not unethical to let him keep talking. It's his First Amendment right, but now he's been shot dead. She says, no. We are here in the gray area. I want to make it clear I'm not calling on dark forces to cause him harm. And then she goes on to say all the ways she wants harm to befall him. I just want him to wake up every morning with an inexplicable zit. I want his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record. I want his blue blazers to suddenly all be one size too small. I want one of his socks to always be sliding down his foot. I want his thumb to grow too big to tweet. To ruin his day with the collective feminist power of the Etsy coven would be my life's greatest joy. Thank you so much, Jezebel, for writing this sentence, because now I don't have to explain why I don't call myself a feminist anymore. It's because, obviously, these people are acting like terrorists. Can't do that. I can't put my name on that. Also, this would cause great harm. If you're a podcaster and your podcast mic malfunctions every time you record, all of the clothes you wear don't fit you. This is torture type stuff, little Chinese water torture, except sociopath witch torture or something. Anyway, it's going to be her life's greatest joy. Well, I think this article is going to end up being her life's greatest, what she's known for. That's why they don't have nobody's name or something on here. So then she goes into talking about buying the curse. Naturally, I did what any serious journalist would do. I typed curse enemy into Etsy's search bar. 5,000 results. The options were endless. I could try karmic revenge, same day bad luck curse, or insanity hex. Also, y'all don't waste your money on this because it don't work on me. They already tried. People have tried. It don't work. Hex Republicans. The reviews were their own kind of magic. One 5-star review for career crasher curse. She has such a sweet, charming, bubbly personality. J'adore. So not exactly the witches of Salem. These Etsy witches were streamlined for the internet age and spoke fluent emoji. Then I found out the crown jewel. Poop your pants spell. It really worked, said the review. Thank you. At that point, it was clear I would need to order multiple curses at different severity levels and price points to guarantee results. After placing my first spell, make everyone hate him, I was left with more questions than answers. How long would it take to kick in? Should I have splurged for a pricier spell to make it work faster? Shortly after, the witch messaged me trying to upsell me a $50 spell booster. When I asked what that did, she explained it would amplify the energetic support of the main spell, or else I could let it unfold in its natural timing. I decided to trust the witch's will. For the powerful hex spell, I had to provide Kirk's date of birth for accuracy. The witch performed the hex, but her response was unsettling. Quote, I just completed your spell and it was successful. You'll see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. However, I did notice disturbances. Negative energy not only from you, but projected at you. Likely from toxic family members, co-workers, or new acquaintances. She said I panicked. I replayed recent encounters. The barista at my coffee shop, she's always so rude, so probably not. But then I read the rest of the message. Would you like to purchase a protection spell? Another upsell. These witches weren't just spellcasters. They were saleswomen, and they had perfected the dark art of the deal. I reached out to a third witch, Priestess Lilin, for clarification, and she explained the differences in price aren't really about better or faster magic, but rather the complexity of the spell work. Some workings are small, focused intentions with minimal tools, while others are more intricate and involve rarer ingredients, more time, and sometimes even repeated castings to build up and direct the energy for our clients, end quote. I wonder what ingredients she used to curse Charlie. A MAGA hat submerged in flames, an IUD, and if enough people cursed a single person, would the results be stronger? When I asked her if she'd noticed more political figures being targeted these days, she said yes. Clients often turn to spells when they feel unheard or powerless in the usual systems. Our magic becomes both a personal release and a way of reclaiming control. Well, we talked about ways to reclaim control earlier in the video that don't involve getting a witch involved, because here's the situation too, okay? How easy and fast they are to, what you want to upsell, It makes me worried if these witches are even giving y'all anything but worth value anyway. But second of all, what if you piss them off? What if you say no? Now they're going to curse you. They know how to do it, and you're all entangled in their little web. And then they wrote an article about it. That's the craziest thing I ever saw. Not ever, but it's pretty weird. And there I was, she says, in the year of our Lord 2025. You better be talking about our Lord, girl. Staring at my computer, chatting with a witch on Etsy about the state of the world, hoping that somewhere between the cosmos and the internet, justice would be served. The aftermath. The next day, the priestess sent me her proof of cast, a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curving inward, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous, scrunched up little face. She whispered, I imagine, trust the unseen. Chills. I had timed the purchase perfectly with the August new moon in Virgo.
According to the astrology girls on TikTok, this specific new moon is the perfect time for forming new habits and aligning goals. My personal goal, she said, cursing Kirk. The stars were aligned. Sunday, August 24th, passed, nothing. Monday, still nothing. Tuesday rolled around and I began to wonder if I had been scammed. But then I reminded myself, this is witchcraft, not Amazon. The forces operate on their own schedule. By Wednesday, I checked Charlie's socials. This was a week ago yesterday, so this was 8 days ago. She checked his socials. So a week before he died. This is exactly 1 week before he died. She checked his social media accounts to see if he was spouting anything new, and of course he was. This time, he was weighing in on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's engagement and tweeting, young women should get married just like Taylor Swift is planning to do. You will be happier. Wait a second. She said she went out of her way to go and see what he was spewing. She wasn't even caught up in the spew. She went and go look at it. I think she's obsessed. I think she might need to be examined in the frontal lobe. Young women should get married just like Taylor Swift is planning to. You will be happier. Then on an episode of The Charlie Kirk Show, he told the Taylor Swift to reject feminism. Submit to your husband, Taylor. It dawned on me. The witches didn't even need to curse him. The Swifties are going to handle him now. And let's be real. The Swifties are much scarier. Or was sicking the Swifties onto Kirk actually the curse working? Then there was more. According to ABC4, Utah State University students launched a petition to bar Kirk and Turning Point. Oh my God. This is crazy. According to ABC4, remember this article came out 2 days before Charlie Kirk died. According to ABC4, Utah State University students launched a petition to bar Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA from visiting the campus on his college tour. Charlie Kirk, a highly polarizing figure, does not align with the core values and ideology that Utah State University strives to epitomize, the petition reads. The petition was launched on Friday, August 22nd, and had already been signed over 3,800 times. Could this be the make everyone hate him at work? Then I saw a tweet that certified the results. His head is getting bigger, the post read, alongside a clip of Kirk telling Taylor Swift she's not in charge. I believe this is it. Slowly over the course of the coming months, the circumference of Kirk's head is going to increase inch by inch until he becomes a literal human bobblehead. Or maybe it keeps growing until it eventually pops. Either way, it feels appropriate. In witches we trust. So this is interesting because she literally has replaced, like, this is a God, like in God we trust is like an obvious, like, we know that in God we trust is what it usually is. So she's now took God out and put the witches in, and that I rebuke. No, hell no. Mm-mm. So did my Etsy curses work? She said, time will tell. Well, I think time told, girl. I mean, again, I don't know if the Etsy witch curses caused this, but I do think that just the total lackadaisical normalization of just like unhinged, obsessed, lunatic BS like this has absolutely pushed political extremism in a direction. Like, again, is this illegal? I don't think so. It is very, very weird to take your personal journalist time out of your schedule and money to, it's weird. And now it just looks weird. It looks bad. The forces move in mysterious ways. As the priestess reminded me, spell work is a collaboration between the caster, the client, and the universe itself, which is the thing that goes here. For now, we can only trust in the timing of the great unknown. A special thank you to the witches of the modern age who work tirelessly to hex Republicans and topple conservative regimes, and the occasional ex-boyfriend. Your work is appreciated. And to you, ooh. And to you, Mr. Kirk, the last line of the article says, may the rash come swiftly. Anyway, that was weird. So Jezebel has, of course, had to come out and denounce the article, but I mean, it feels like a little too like late. I don't know. Very weird. Okay, so then that's not the only ones in hot water. We also got the TMZ team in hot water for their reactions to the actual death. So this was in the TMZ room. Wait. Breaking. TMZ is doubling down and refusing to apologize for the cheers heard from their employees just seconds before announcing the passing of Charlie Kirk. So this is a video that was apparently allegedly taken from yesterday during the live coverage of the story. And what it appears to show is live coverage live. You know, they're waiting for updates, waiting for this, that. And it just so happens that at the pretty much exact moment that the death of Charlie Kirk is announced, which remember, it was like a little bit of a lag. It was for like an hour. It was just like he got shot. He's in critical condition. So he didn't die at first, according to the news. I mean, I think he did. I think it was seconds. However, listen to the cheering and applauding. And then there's some updates on this story since yesterday I want to tell y'all, but here's the circulating viral clip.
Janet, go to have somebody look at the Fox.
Trump's very distracted.
Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
All right, so is this ready to pull the trigger? We can get Trump cut in a second.
Okay, y'all saw that?
Janet,
One more time.
go to have somebody look at the Fox. Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
So immediately, instantaneously, people, politicians, bots alike, all join forces up against TMZ. And we're all on the same side here because TMZ, I believe, is trash. However, there might be something a little more to this story. So the timing doesn't look good. Okay. It does look like they were cheering. It does look like they were cheering because Charlie Kirk died. It does look like that. Because if you remember, it was like Donald Trump who actually kind of like released the news. He kind of released the news. And so a lot of people were saying they didn't think that he was going to make it, or, you know, that he even probably made it to the hospital or whatever, just based on how bad that shot was, which I would say don't go look at it. I would not want to see it again. I wish I never saw it the first time. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that too. But anyway, it was not for sure confirmed to the public for the first hour. It was like, oh, he's in critical condition and stuff like that. So it looked like he might make it. I mean, I was even saying, you know, if it ain't your time, it ain't your time. So it kind of did look like and seem like there was a little faction of the death cult in the TMZ building cheering for Charlie Kirk's death. But TMZ came out and said, no, that's not, no. We actually can totally see how it looks so bad like that, but you got to hear us out. They had an excuse. Here's the horse's mouth itself. Charlie Kirk assassination apology for laughter. Heard in TMZ office, it wasn't about him. Oh, there's a video. Oh, good. I love a good apology. Wait, let me get the caption.
We were live streaming all day during this tragedy.
Hold on.
When something happened in our office.
All right. I started it over.
We were live streaming all day during this tragedy. When something happened in our office, as we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase. And they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here.
The dog popped up.
There were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear.
Okay.
One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing, they were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were not. They would not work here if they did.
And that being said, we acknowledge that it was horrible timing. And for that, we are sorry.
We apologize. We apologize
I get
that you
why-
had to hear that.
And I get why if you're watching the stream, you may have felt that that's what the laughter was about. We assure you it was not about that, but it was horrible timing. And
By the way, I get it too, and he gets it because we listened as we were talking.
you can go back and look on the stream. I actually walked off camera to go back and find out what the hell was going on because it was inappropriate for the laughter at that time. But no one was laughing about the Charlie Kirk tragedy.
Nevertheless, we apologize for the way it sounded.
Here's the thing. That might be true. And I got some evidence. I did go and because I'm a even, equal opportunity analyst over here. I did find some evidence which would indicate that there was a car chase in LA going on at that exact same time. I found some evidence. I'm going to show it to y'all. But at the end is where Harvey really loses me because he said, I can assure you, no one was laughing that Charlie Kirk died. Is that what he said? I want to hear it one more time because that's what I took issue with.
And as we were talking,
You can go back and look on the stream.
Here.
I actually walked off camera to go back and find out what the hell was going on because it was inappropriate for the laughter at that time. But no one was laughing about the Charlie Kirk tragedy.
nevertheless, we
No
apologize
one
for
was
the way it
laughing.
sounded.
Okay. No one was laughing, but I mean, we all have been seeing people making videos laughing for the last about 26 hours. So the people are laughing. It would be a lot easier to believe if literally nobody was laughing and nobody was acting unhinged and deranged. But I think they, just because Harvey knows these people don't mean they weren't laughing. Okay. However, Harvey Levin, at the very least, did the least he could do, which is to denounce that behavior and say, that wasn't cool. I mean, he could have came out and said, yeah, we were laughing at it and we think it's funny. Everybody else seems to have no problem doing it. TMZ bread and butter is other people suffering. You can imagine that the people who work there might actually like to see other people suffering and dying. And I know because I've seen a lot of people online making videos saying in their scrubs they don't care. Good. I hope he is no longer living. Okay, now I do want to show y'all though. There was a car chase yesterday. And look at the timing of the article. 1:35 p.m. Pacific, which would have been about 3:30. So this would have been about 2 hours after the shooting. I really would need to get like the actual clock lineup and see exactly what time, but this is like within an hour or within 90 minutes at least. This article and the clapping and laughing. Okay. And this is in LA, South LA. Could they have been, watching this? Maybe. But if they were, I think we have still the same problem because oh, shoot. I guess I didn't say the link. That LA car chase ended in somebody being ejected from the vehicle. So like the car hit them and then someone got ejected from the vehicle. So if that's the car chase they were watching, then they were clapping and laughing that somebody got ejected from a car chase vehicle. I didn't do too much extra research on it. If somebody wants to look into that and send me the link or whatever to your research or whatever, but they did say as well some more things in the article. So let me read that part. Let me turn on reader. I hate all this stuff moving. Okay. We want to address something that happened during our TMZ live stream coverage of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. As Harvey and Charles were reporting the developments in our newsroom, there were employees in another part of the building watching a car chase. The people watching the car chase began laughing and clapping in reaction to what they were seeing. But we want to make it clear, they were not cheering in response to the assassination. Nevertheless, watching a car chase at that moment was tone deaf, and the sounds of laughter at that crucial moment were totally out of line. We apologize to anyone who heard that, as we were in the middle of covering such a tragic story. So there is there's their answer to it, you know. Do we even want to look at the anesthesiologist that I've mentioned several times now? This is an anesthesiologist.
Empathy is dangerous to society. So
This is an anesthesiologist.
I'm really glad Charlie Kirk just got himself fucking shot, because he's right. Empathy is dangerous to society. So no one should give a fuck that he's dead. He said it. I'm just saying his words. All I'm doing is using his words. You can't be mad at me for using his words. I think empathy is a new wave thing, and it's very problematic. You right. No empathy for you. Zero.
Girl, what about the people that had to see? What about the people that had to see it? All of us. What about the people that don't feel safe to speak? What about the people that are truly independent media that are scared for their lives? What about those babies that saw that yesterday? His babies, they didn't choose to be like, no, empathy. She said she's glad. I hope that lady gets fired. I'm sorry. I never really say that. I don't think people should be getting fired all willy-nilly for a freaking social media post. But the death cult has infiltrated the healthcare profession. She said not only she don't care, she said she's glad. There's another one. Hold on. Here's these kids singing a song about it. They're happy. They're happy. And the way that they're saying we, I think this is a person of interest. Who is this? Vic.Melter. We got Charlie in the neck. We got Charlie in the neck. They singing it. Woo. Whose kid is this? Okay, this might be a hot take. This might be an unpopular opinion, but here's the thing. If this is where we ended up with independent women, maybe we need to be subservient to our husbands, y'all, because I would rather subservient to my husband than have the kids screaming, we got Charlie in the neck in the street. I'm willing to make the sacrifice. Put a 1 in the chat if the women are willing to be subservient if the kids stop singing about we got Charlie in the neck. If that's what it takes. I mean, I'm kind of joking, y'all, but this is why I can't get on either side, because it's two sides of extremism. It's just, this is too much. Girl, what are they doing out there? The innocent said, not me. I want the kids screaming about Charlie in the neck. I'm not sacrificing it, girl. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as we all have our choice to our man. That's what I'm saying, because I already chose mine one. I could be subservient to him. I trust him. He's fine. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, hell yeah. That's it. Be subservient to him? Hell yeah. Done. Already do that half the time anyway. Most of the time. Done. Wouldn't make that big of a difference in my life. Let me quit my job. Well, that would require me to just not make YouTube videos. I don't really have a job. So, I mean, I'm already living the Charlie Clerk life or whatever. No, I'm not. I see things like this. It's very shocking, but I will tell you, as many of these kids out here, we got Charlie in the neck, are kneeling down praying by the flagpole, are out doing the 4-H pledge. It's not a lost cause. And the kids with sense are going to rise up and they're going to be fine. And when I say rise up, I mean in legal, peaceful ways through society as they grow and develop in natural, normal ways as humans. I really don't. I know a lot of people think this. Even my own sister. I was talking to her the other day and she was like saying something like implying that like I tell Prim what to do. And I was like, girl, no, I don't. And she's like, oh, like, I know I have this personality of like, I don't take nothing off nobody, but like, I really don't. I wouldn't consider myself to wear the pants in my relationship because I'm with like a real grown man. If I was with like somebody that was like, you know, not mature and like it was irresponsible, yeah. In every relationship I've ever had other than Prim, that is, yeah, I have to, because somebody has to be the adult, the grown up whenever somebody isn't fully developed in their mind. You know what I mean by like, and this is grown men, obviously. But you know, his immaturities and irresponsibilities, I have no problem actually deferring to Prim because he takes care of stuff for the house. He takes care of stuff for our life that I don't even want to think about or deal with. And so for that, he gets the, you know, respect of me not really like bucking up on him too much. Like we don't really fight. I've never gotten in a real fight with Prim ever in 6 years. Like we have a really great relationship. Truly. It's a really good relationship. It's the best one I ever had. And I'm so glad that I have him forever in my life. Now for him, I don't know if he got as lucky in the deal because he got to deal with me. But for me, I got it. I have it made. I have no problem. I have no problem saying, no, you can do it. You can say it. You can make that decision. I don't need to I'm gonna be over here. No problem. I'll never tell him what to do or anything like that. Thanks so much, Kel on Earth, for the 199 super sticker. Thank you, Dizzy Destiny, for the 100. The world gone mad. It sure has, but they're going to find their way. We just have to, you know, as long as there is any light at all, the tiniest amount of light, remember it's the laws of physics, the tiniest amount of light dispels darkness. You cannot, no matter how much darkness there is, if there's even the smallest amount of light, then that light is there. And that is the imagery that I try to keep whenever it's like, okay, but I can set my tone. I can't control these kids on the street singing about, we got Charlie in the neck. Okay. I can't control them. Hopefully they find the right way. If not, then karma's going to just get them however it gets them. That's not my business, you know. But as far as I saw that too, fairy frequency. Let me finish my thought. Sorry. As far as the world's gone mad, I mean, there's always going to be crazy and bad people, but there's like normal people out here too. It's us, you know, the cousins. Thank you, fairy frequency, for the $5 super chat. BJ, have you seen the video of the man standing up celebrating while others are ducking down? He looked right where the culprit was. I did see that video, and I have it linked. I have a link to it, but I'm not going to play it because I don't know how much of the video, like, you know, before is showing and stuff. So I'm not going to play the video on here, but yeah, it's weird. There's a video, there's a lot of weird stuff, but there's a video of a man like cheering in the crowd. After Charlie, like everyone's ducking down, like sheltering in duck down mode. Like they don't even know what was going on at that point. And he's up cheering and he's right, like just a couple rows away from the very front. It was weird. Thank you for being a member for 20 months, Dizzy Destiny. Shout out to Gen X to the 7th power becoming a member. And thank you for that. Thank you, Chenille's Shenanigans becoming a new member. Shout out to you. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, that's easy. That's all done. Okay, on the topic of world gone mad, look up what happened to Medgar Evers. What's new is social media. Not comparing directly, but not much new. Okay. Yeah, I did see the so-called sending a signal things too. I'm not going to play that video either because I would need more information. Let me just check like live updates and see if anything. I mean, it is like a developing story. Wall Street Journal. Is that the same photo? New York Times. Okay. Live updates. Oh. This is interesting. 5 minutes ago, New York Times gave a breaking update as graphic videos of Charlie Kirk's incident circulated online. Social media companies tried with mixed results to remove the content. In a statement on Thursday, a TikTok spokeswoman said that the app was committed to proactively enforcing our community guidelines, which included a ban on shocking, gory, and disturbing content. I would call it full-on gore. Full gore. It's like almost like snuff film. It's just horrible. She added that TikTok had put into effect additional safeguards to prevent people from unexpectedly viewing footage that violates their rules. That is true. When I went on TikTok earlier, when you type in Charlie Kirk, thankfully, the whole thing is covered in like black or gray screens that say like sensitive content, and like it makes you have to click it, which of course I did not. Oh my God. There was a boom threat today. Breaking news. Breaking news. The U.S. Capitol Police responded to a boom threat today at the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee that was deemed not credible. It was not a credible threat. So it was like a hoax threat called in. According to a party spokeswoman, and conducted a sweep of the interior out of an abundance of caution. The bomb threat comes after several historically Black colleges received threats today. I'm calling it right now, my psychic vision from the Lord. This is foreign interference. This is a foreign nation or foreign terrorist state that is trying to get us to hate each other and fight each other. I'm not freaking doing it. No, not it. Nose goes, not me. Not me. Representative Hakeem Jeffries of New York called the threats against the historically Black colleges despicable. Y'all, the calls are coming from outside the house at this point. The calls are coming from outside the house. The calls are coming from outside the house. But they in the house now, if you know what I mean. But this is despicable. Absolutely despicable. Terroristic, even. The explosion of hateful extremism is out of control. Check the group chats. Oh, there's a news conference scheduled to begin now. Wow. It is unclear why officials delayed a news conference that was scheduled to begin right about now. This was 16 minutes ago. But a spokesman for the Utah Department of Public Safety just told me no one is currently in custody. Okay, let me go see if I can pull up like a live stream of the press conference. They're supposed to be having one. No, let's see. I mean, that's what it says. Delayed a news conference that was scheduled to begin right about now. Let me type in Charlie Kirk news conference. No one else has said anything about that except the New York Times. Let's maybe go to the FBI Twitter. Okay, here's the updated joint press release. Probably going to be all stuff we already know, but this is the official media advisory. This is the official press release from the feds and all the agencies. This is their joint press release. Oh, there's a lot of information in here. Okay, this is interesting. Okay. At approximately 12:20 p.m. Mountain Time yesterday, political influencer Charlie Kirk was speaking at a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was pew-pew during the event. Still an active investigation, Utah Department of Public Safety and the FBI are co-leading this incident in unison with the Utah County Attorney's Office, the Utah County Sheriff's Office, and the local police departments. We initially took in George Zinn as a suspect. He was later released and charged with obstruction by UVU police. A second suspect, Zachariah Qureshi, was taken into custody and released after interrogation with law enforcement. There are no current ties to the shooting with either of these individuals. There is an ongoing investigation and a manhunt for the shooter. The FBI has created a digital media tip line for information regarding this shooting. FBI.gov/Utah Valley shooting. We ask the public to please provide any information they may have to this tip line. The Department of Public Safety's state crime lab, along with all law enforcement involved, are working multiple active crime scenes. These were identified based on where the victim was shot, as well as the locations where the suspect and the victim traveled. Oh, the crime scene includes where he traveled. So the hospital is a crime scene? That's interesting. The shooting is believed to be a targeted attack. The shooter is believed to have fired from the roof of a building down to the location of the public event in the student courtyard. Any additional clarifications cannot be provided to protect the integrity of our investigation. To secure the event, UVU police had 6 officers working the event. These security measures were in addition to Charlie Kirk's security detail, who travels with him. Approximately 3,000 people attended. The location of the event was held in the University Quad, an outdoor bowl courtyard on campus for events. This is a tragic moment for Utah and our country. As we all heal, we encourage those who need help to call 988. I encourage those who need help to report the group chat to the federal authorities. Not everything is a mental health problem. Some things are other things. This is a tragic moment for Utah and our country. Okay. Campus will be closed for the rest of the week. So no more classes this week. That's today and tomorrow. For media partners who want to get on our distribution list for this incident, please fill out this form. Oh, let me fill it out. I want to be on the list. For live stream of the press conference, go to Utah DPS Instagram. Okay. Cool. Okay. I didn't know about this press conference. I never heard about it. Okay. We're on the... Oh, shoot. Cleo, really? Where is this coming from? Cleo said, developing a potential break in Charlie Kirk assassination investigation as authorities postpone press conference due to rapid developments. Let me try to copy that comment. Oh, it won't let me copy it. Okay, hold on. Authorities postpone. Okay, potential break. Where did that come from? Potential break in Charlie Kirk investigation. Authorities postpone. That's not showing up for me. Okay, so let's go back to the FBI, Salt Lake. Yes, that is the one thing that I can try to do. The first prototype. I like that name. I can't get over how insane this all is, but I'm thankful for BJ's platform for a place to talk this out. Right. This is kind of like coming inside. Oh, shoot. See, Cleo. I don't know where Cleo's getting these updates, but Cleo's saying some stuff. Social media users believe they may have found the shooter. Yeah, but that was that Omar thing. I'm holding off on saying that that's real until I hear something more credible, because I don't really be liking to just trust any old social media user. You know, they take payments from Russia and stuff. Remember that just got found out? Oops. Yeah, I remember. Nothing here on FBI Salt Lake City. Let's try FBI regular. Maybe they tweeting something. FBI.com. FBI. At FBI. I don't even follow them, girl. Okay, here. So that's the most recent 2 tweets, 3 tweets. Okay, so no, nothing there. Let's go back to New York Times. Updated 15 minutes ago. So look. Okay, this is interesting. I just totally missed this. 58 minutes ago, so about an hour ago, a news conference with the FBI and Utah police officials. This is 59 minutes ago from the New York Times. News conference was just canceled about 20 minutes after it had been scheduled because of rapid developments. Okay, y'all. So not so breaking, but it is news. There was a press conference scheduled. It was canceled. Why? Because of, quote, rapid developments in the investigation. According to who? According to Hillary Colner, a spokeswoman for the Utah Department of Public Safety. She said the news conference will now be held later today. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I want to see when it's going to be. Okay, I'm getting off this Paying the Witch article, and I'm getting off that too. Okay. Let me just go type in Charlie Kirk on Twitter, which is scary to do. Kirk. I keep saying Clerk. I don't know why. Oh my God. There's like terroristic threats online. Oh my God, no. Y'all, the calls are coming from outside the house. It's not us. It's not the cousins. These are like more than likely foreign nationals, let's be honest. Okay, we got an update from, and the ones that are not, they're crazy too. I rebuke. Yeah, the young men loved him. You know, I just feel for our youths. I truly do. Oh, let me fill out I'm going to fill out the media form so that I can get the updates. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me put my name. That Surprise Witness. Trademark. Okay. Organization. That Surprise Witness. TV. Email. That Surprise Witness at gmail.com. Digital media. Oh, influencer. We'll go with that. Am I digital media influencer? Yeah. Submit. Okay. Got it. I'm on the list. Slay. Now let me check my email and make sure I'm on the list for real. Oh, Allie. That's interesting. Who knows how old these images are? It's strange this plane is so close to the school. Huh. They got a flight school at the school, I heard. Okay, I also have the Utah Department of, this is where it'll be live streamed as well. So I have this up. I at least want to see when the press conference is going to be. Yeah, I seen what you clap for. Bridget, I'm not gonna be covering the ammunition thing yet because I need to hear it from a little bit more of an official source, because I truly believe that these are details which are intentionally like meant to divide us. But yeah, I mean, if it ends up being confirmed by the FBI, hell yeah, I will definitely be reading it. But they've been a little bit unreliable with that type of stuff, and like due to the gravity of it, I'm just gonna not. But yeah, y'all can go look it up. Is it the Wall Street Journal or the Wall Street Journal, and some other outlets are reporting that they had found like shell casings or magazines or something with like some type of like anti-fascism and or like pro-trans stuff. But like I like to use my discernment about what I share on my platform, and like the time. It is hard whenever it's breaking and developing, because it is kind of like, I want to show y'all all the breaking, developing thing. I don't really want to gatekeep, but at the same time, like, I'm really not gatekeeping. I'm telling y'all about it. I'm just not trying to focus too much. Oh, this Lala said, but the guy laughing in the news interview might be because of trauma. No, this wasn't a news interview though. Lala, Lala. It was not a news interview. It was someone who was recording like in the immediate aftermath of what had happened. Okay. So I'm looking, let's go Charlie Kirk live updates somewhere else. I think the only ones doing it are, okay, Fox News. Oh, okay, Fox News did, okay. Sometimes they do have info other people don't have. All right, so this was 26 minutes ago. This is Fox News. Utah authorities push back press conference due to rapid developments in the investigation. Well-wishers add balloons. Da, da, da. Okay. Utah authorities have delayed a press conference about the investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk due to, quote, rapid developments in the investigation. The press conference was originally announced to begin at 12:45 p.m. local time. What's mountain time? Is that 2 hours behind me? Yeah. So 2:45. So like 30 minutes ago. The Utah Department of Public Safety announced the change about an hour before the briefing was to begin. Due to the rapid developments in our investigation, we will suspend this, said Hillary Kolner, the DPS Director of Communications and Public Affairs. We will release an updated time later today. No, not the guy who shouted out. Maybe actually, I don't know. I mean, maybe he shouted out his handle, but I don't remember him saying it. I think he was just saying like "wee yay," like that's all I remember. He maybe was saying words. Let me look up Charlie Kirk. You can't even get your news on Twitter because it's just so much bots and propaganda. The stronger the propaganda, the more suspicious I am. Girl, U.S. Navy Petty Officer Highland has 1.5 million followers on TikTok and is openly celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. This is why I can't go on Twitter. Okay, let me see. Charlie Kirk rapidly developing okay. We have another update. Nice. Okay, we have another update from telegraph.co.uk. Isn't it interesting how the UK and the BBC stuff gets more information than the American ones out? Speaking of, let me go to Sky News. Okay, look at this. Hunt for Charlie Kirk assassin developing rapidly, FBI says. There have been rapid developments in the hunt for Charlie Kirk's assassin, the FBI said. A police update on the manhunt scheduled for 2:45 p.m. U.S. What is U.S. time, girl? Oh, that's my time. Okay, fine. You can call it that. I'm not offended anymore. Has been postponed due to the fast-moving situation. The update came just over 2 hours after the FBI released 2 photographs of a person of interest. I bet you that tip line started flooding. $100,000 reward. The update came just over 2 hours after the FBI released 2 photographs of a person of interest and announced it was offering $100,000. Girl, the pound is worth so much more. Reward for anybody with information that could lead to his arrest. The grainy picture shows a white man wearing sunglasses, a baseball hat, and a black sweatshirt that appears to feature an American flag and an eagle. Charlie Kirk, 31, was fatally shot on Wednesday while addressing a crowd of 3,000 people at Utah Valley University. The gunman fired a single bullet from the rooftop of a campus building around 200 yards away from Kirk before fleeing into a local neighborhood on foot. Press conference postponed. A police update on the manhunt scheduled for 2:45 Eastern has been postponed due to rapid developments in the manhunt. Earlier than that, about 30-something minutes before, incident at Democrat headquarters. Washington, D.C. police are responding to an incident at Democrat headquarters. Capitol Police have told Democrat staffers to shelter in place. Capitol Police are responding to an incident at the Democratic National Committee headquarters. Staff are asked to remain clear of police activity. Hampton University evacuated after credible threat. Hampton University in Virginia has been evacuated after a credible threat was made. Officials, including the university's president, met with the local and state government officials and law enforcement, the university said in a statement. We discussed what they consider is a credible threat to the university. That credible threat is being investigated by local, state, and federal law enforcement as we speak. Details of the threat were not provided, but staff and students were evacuated and classes and events were canceled. Amira Woodruff, a student at the historically Black university, said she thought it may have had something to do with the killing of Charlie Kirk. 6 other universities have also been locked down. Morehouse, Virginia State, Alabama State, Southern University in Louisiana. Shout out to the Human Jukebox. I hope y'all are making it over there to the Southern University cousins. No Howard University. It's interesting. Clark, Atlanta University, and Spelman. Y'all, please. Telegraph.co.uk is asking law professors about forensics and bullets evidence. I'd like to know how many he ever shot in his life. Please. I'm not even reading that rubbish. Have they announced? What about AP? Are they doing anything live today? Okay. AP does have something. Reuters. Just what looks like out there. Is it raining? FBI on the scene. Oh, no, it's not raining, girl. That's the water fountain. Okay, so that's what they're doing out there. Oh, we got a new update from the New York Times. The scene at the Utah Valley University campus this morning was somber, with mourners placing flowers and praying near the site of yesterday's Pew Pew event. I feel like, I'm getting tired, but I feel like as soon as I get off of here, some is about to pop off. I'm going to have to come back because I can't just leave it up to everybody out here in the world to cover it and not me, because girl, we got to have somewhere we can come inside from out there and be like, girl, did you see that? Let me see. And they haven't announced. Okay, here's one from The Hill. T. Smith, why are HBCUs being targeted? Your guess is as good as mine, but historically, I wouldn't rule out foreign interference. Okay. Utah officials postpone press briefing because of rapid developments. The FBI suspended planned afternoon press conference, the Charlie Kirk shooting, because of rapid developments in the case. The announcement of a delayed press conference with the Utah Department of Public Safety came after the FBI released photos of a person of interest in the case. Due to the rapid developments in our investigation, we will suspend this, the department said in an email, saying a rescheduled time would be announced later. Images show what the FBI earlier described as someone of an age that blended in well with a college institution, and the person was seen wearing a hat and sunglasses along with an American flag t-shirt with an eagle on it. The FBI also offered up to a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the shooter. Okay. What is ATF? Do we trust them? Do I trust them? Oh, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm Bureau. People saying that this was most likely not an expert marksman are absolutely never going to convince me of that ludicrous and preposterous proposition ever. I'm never, ever going to be convinced, no matter how many experts, no matter how many any of it. Nope. The person who shot the gun was an expert. That is my opinion, and nobody from the ATF is going to change my opinion. Sorry. Thomas Michael Crooks might have not been an expert. That I believe. Why? Because he missed and they caught him. Sort that out. Oh, the ATF effed up Waco. Well, that would make sense. That would make. Rock On said, I agree with you. They're never going to convince me. I don't care how many different little CNN, little New York Times, little NBC. I don't care. Y'all can put it on my daddy's tombstone. It ain't going to make no difference to me. The man was definitely, in my opinion, in my mind, in my schizophrenic delusion, in my psychic vision from the Lord, he was definitely an expert marksman. Yes, he was, in my mind. Okay. Yep. AI services are also spreading false information. Yep. And then generating bots to argue with y'all too. Utah Department of Public Safety delays afternoon press conference due to rapid developments in the investigation. The FBI was also supposed to be at the press conference. A new time has not been still announced. This was an hour ago. New update, NBC News. FBI director, that's Kash Patel, en route to Orem, Utah, according to the Utah Department of Public Safety. He's expected to hold a joint press conference with law enforcement when he arrives. Kash Patel, this is breaking news. The director of the FBI is en route on the way to Orem, Utah. According to the Utah Department of Public Safety, he is expected to hold a joint press conference with law enforcement when he arrives. The rapid development must have been Kash Patel was on his way. Let's see. Nope, not live here. Updated 5 minutes ago. Yeah, we already saw that one. Okay, so I think things are going to start heating up. I think. I can't even go on Twitter for updates because it's too much rhetoric going on. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel has this. They're waiting for him to get there, yeah. Yeah, and this happens a lot. Like, he's probably tired of getting undermined. Like, he was going tweet, and he was like, oh, there's somebody in custody. Oh, Brigitte, you think so, girl? She said they probably have the guy. They probably have the guy or an identity or something. You're right. Oh, my gosh. Let me go look at Kash Patel's Twitter. Y'all got somewhere to be, or can we do this for a little longer? Kash Patel. Jai Shri Krishna. I did think that was cool. He said that during his thing, but Krishna doesn't stand for child abuse, so release the list, buddy. Jai Shri Krishna. He did retweet this. He retweeted the picture. He retweeted the reward. Y'all, you know how there was like a so-called you know what, terrorist attack on September 11th? And it was like it wasn't like, they weren't like, oh, it was radical transgender or whatever. Maybe there was some interference perhaps, or at least cooperation with foreign governments involved. It's just kind of close to that, you know, day, which is today. It always is. It's always divide and conquer what they're trying to do, being a baby, but I refuse. Thank you so much for the $1.99. I'm reading some of y'all's comments. Oh yeah, no, I don't have a Reddit. I rebuke. I do not have any community where you can talk to other people other than this live chat, and then it disappears after the live is over. Maybe I might let comments stay up on my comments. I do not have a Discord, and I never will. I do not have a Telegram. I would have a Telegram, but only if I could send one-way messages, not if anybody else could send back. But I do not have one like especially for this. I mean, I don't know, I might sign up for an account or something, but I don't be going on there. No group chats, no Discords, no Reddits. Nope. Nope. It's a sewer. This is the scene. Oh, breaking. 3 minutes ago, breaking news. Charlie Kirk, this is from Fox News. Take with, as much grain of salt you need to. Charlie Kirk, assassin manhunt. Police find evidence that could be very important. The investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk is going at a normal pace, but caution should be urged about the image of a person of interest released by the authorities on Thursday. News contributor said, girl, I don't give a Oh, this could be video from a week before the event. Okay, what's the very important thing they found, though?
Okay, so for more on all this, let's bring in Paul Morrow now, retired NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor who just landed on the ground there. Paul, please do give us your take on what you've been able to learn since you've arrived.
So right now, it seems like this is going the way we were talking about last night on the air, which is that they tracked the video likely all the way to the point that maybe even they have the perpetrator leaving campus. At that point, it goes a little bit darker. That's why they were out canvassing last night. That reporting was accurate. They were out looking around in the neighborhood late into the night, asking people, did you see anybody in the backyard? That's undoubtedly how they got the gun.
Could this
My
guy be any
question
more
right
New
now
York?
is the following. If, in fact, that is where the shooter goes dark, did he have a means of egress at that point? In other words, a bike, a motorcycle, a car, something like that to get him out of the vicinity, because that makes things a lot harder.
A getaway van.
The other thing I would mention is, let's just be cautious about the photo that they released. Number
Don't
one,
tell me
we've
what
got
to
a
do.
couple false leads already, which
Don't
is
tell
fine.
me what to do. I was trying out that Jezebel thing they were talking about in the article. Am I doing it right? Woo! Okay. I'm just updating. I'm just updating, like live update, whatever stuff. Let's see, going to the FBI. And the reason that I pull my screen down is just because I don't want to be assaulted without my consent with that video. But I certainly definitely don't want to, show it to y'all too and rebroadcast it. Because they'll just be putting that thing out. Okay, where are we on? Okay, so I have CNN up. I want to have all my tabs up. CNN. I don't even have that up. Okay, so let me get that up. I got CNN, New York Times, NBC, Fox News. Who else? I got the Instagram up. Am I subscribed to the Wall Street Journal? I thought I was. Hold on, I'm checking. No, I'm not. Nope. Okay. So let's go more news. I am trying to. Okay, we do have another one. This is CBS. If you didn't follow me during the Diddy trial, this is kind of one of the things I do. I kind of like to have like a few different tabs open and read from different sources to try to mitigate some of this propaganda. Okay, this was 21 minutes ago. This is CBS News, which is like formerly affiliated and connected to the CIA. So take it with a grain of salt. Okay, girl. I mean, I don't really know. Turning Point USA says Kirk has become America's greatest martyr. Let's not perpetuate that type of propaganda. Turning Point UK arm plans London vigil. Okay, shout out to the London cousins in the chat. 2:06 p.m. This has been about an hour and a half now. The rapid development postponement. Bridget, I'm with you, girl. I think Kash Patel is on his way to announce who the suspect is. I think that's what's going on. Yes, Meg said, yes, I saw it without my consent because people posted it. Yeah, I'm not doing that if I can help it. If I can help it, I'm not. Redacted just announced assassin identified. They're going live in 30 minutes. Who's redacted? Assassin identified. Let me see. I don't see that anywhere. Y'all got to start telling me what the sources are of this information. The squirrels are acting up. Updated 3 minutes ago on the New York Times. Wait, where's the 3 minute ago update then? It says updated 3 minutes ago, but where's the update? 4 minutes ago. Okay. CNN has updates. 2 new updates. Doesn't this kind of feel like the Diddy thing a little bit? Less than a minute ago, CNN.com said White House Chief of Staff says Charlie's shooting shook everybody to their core. The White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, said in an interview that yesterday was a very tough day for the administration. Charlie Kirk's death shook everybody to their core. Charlie was very much a part of this family and maybe the highest profile MAGA person outside of those that are working here. What is a MAGA person? I don't get that. This is like, I don't like this little clubs and stuff like, why you gotta be a MAGA person? What does that mean? Anyway, Wiles said that she told White House staffers not to let their voices get softer after the shooting. Charlie would want everybody to speak as they had been. That's probably true. I don't know him. I wouldn't want to speak for him. But I bet you he'd say, don't let this stop what you're trying to do. I called everybody in before they went home last night and I said, go home, hug your kids, hug your spouse, be careful, take precautions, and don't let your voice get softer. I would just delete this, to be careful, take precautions. No, just keep going about your life is what I would say. But I'm not the chief of staff at the White House, so who's asking me, you know? 1 minute ago, FBI Director Kash Patel headed to Utah to assist with investigation into Charlie Kirk's killing. He's on his way. A source familiar with the matter tells CNN. TikTok will remove some videos of the shooting. The up-close view of the shooting, they will remove. These horrific violent acts have no place in our society. We remain committed to proactively enforcing our community guidelines and have implemented additional safeguards to prevent people from unexpectedly viewing footage that violates our rules. Graphic video of Charlie being shot at Utah Valley University spread widely across social media and in the immediate aftermath. On TikTok's search page, the app initially suggested to some users search terms such as raw video footage and actual incident footage, which immediately linked to graphic videos of the shooting. A TikTok spokesperson said they were also removing those search terms as suggested terms. Not all videos of the shooting will be removed. TikTok's policies do not allow gory, gruesome, disturbing, or extremely violent content, but footage from a distance may still be viewable on the platform. Other platforms have also weighed in. A Meta spokesperson told CNN's Brian Stelter that the company, following its usual policies, is applying a warning label to video clips of the shooting and limiting access to such videos that users 18 and over. Additionally, Meta is removing content that glorifies, represents, or supports the incident or the perpetrator. Wait. Glorifies. Wait. Meta's removing content that represents the perpetrator? What does that mean? Like they're going to take down the killer's picture? Is that what they're saying? FBI releases images of person of interest in Kirk killing. Officials said they found a rifle near Utah University campus where the right-wing activist was fatally shot. The unidentified gunman was still at large amid speculation about what motivated the killing. Bridget said all the videos that she reported with the full video and the close-up were not removed. And she got messages that say this does not violate our policies. They're going after the memes. Gotcha. Oh, let me see. I think Kash Patel is on his way to announce the identity of the perpetrator. And I think the reason is because of this headline. FBI Director Kash Patel faces scrutiny for inaccurately saying Kirk killer had been caught. Kash Patel faced his biggest test yet as FBI director as current and former officials criticized his inaccurate statement that a suspect had been caught in the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, a prominent ally of President Donald Trump. Moments before officials on the scene of the shooting briefed the press on Wednesday, Kash Patel announced on social media that the person responsible for the shooting was in custody. The claim was quickly contradicted by the local officials, leading to hours of confusion before the FBI finally clarified that 2 people had been questioned and then released following the incident. Current and former U.S. officials called Patel's announcement counterproductive. At the outset of an investigation, much of the initial intelligence is typically wrong or slightly off. That's why what he did yesterday has never been done by any FBI director ever before him or any division leadership before, said retired FBI agent Dan Brunner. The investigators need to sort through all the initial intelligence before putting out factual evidence. The FBI does not run investigations on social media. I think Kash Patel's like, fine, I'm on my way. Fine, I'm on my way. And I'm the director of the FBI. So keep talking your shit. Dan Brunner. I think that's what he's doing. Now, do I support that or not? I don't know. We'll have to see if we get more information from him than we did those other guys this morning. But I almost feel like they were going to do a press conference and Kash Patel called and said, you're not doing another one because y'all keep making me look stupid. So I'm on my way. I don't know. Maybe that happened. Maybe that didn't. That's just a feeling. Who knows? A White House source granted anonymity to discuss internal discussions called Patel's announcement unprofessional. So somebody inside the White House is like, no, it was unprofessional. Like they're doing the politics full on. His performance is really not acceptable to the White House or to the American public, and it will be addressed. Oh, he's in trouble? A White House source granted anonymity to discuss internal discussions, called Patel's announcement unprofessional, and said his performance is really not acceptable to the White House or to the American public and will be addressed. Oh, he's going over there. He's going over there. Release the list, though. Okay. Anything new here? No. Anything new here? No. Okay, let's see. FBI leaders heading to Salt Lake City as Kirk manhunt intensifies. Oh, stop. Oh, shoot. Come on. Just trying to get back to this article. Okay, here. FBI leaders heading to Salt Lake City as Kirk manhunt intensifies. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino released the files. Are en route to Salt Lake City as the manhunt intensifies for the suspect accused of fatally shooting Charlie Kirk. Utah authorities had scheduled a Thursday press conference for 12:45 local time, but postponed it, citing rapid developments. The Utah Department of Public Safety announced the delay less than an hour before the briefing was set to begin. Okay. What do we do? The New York Times thing is saying it's updated, but it's just like not nothing's updating. Maybe this will work. No. Oh, somebody said check your email. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to be covering the bullet fragment stuff yet. I'm waiting to hear from the press conference. AP News, let's try that. Yeah, still same stuff. Wiles says Trump received texts and phone calls Wednesday night from foreign leaders on Kirk. What? White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles says the messages and calls to the president were from European and Asian leaders expressing condolences about Kirk. Charlie was very much a part of this family. What? I guess I just missed that aspect of it whenever I was looking the last time. Current time in Orem is 1:46. So what do we do? Do I get off here? Do I wait for... What do we do? Oh, there's an update from CNN. Of course. Donald Trump says he was the person to break the news. Oh yeah. Oh, to his oh shit. Shoot. That's really intense. I didn't finish the sentence. Donald Trump Jr. says he was the first person to break the news of Charlie's death to his father. So Donald Trump Jr. is the one who told Donald Trump, the president. I found out right before my father called me back on something. I found out that he had passed, and I think I was the one that broke the news to him, and it was a rough day. The president's son also spoke about his close relationship with Charlie Kirk, including that he spoke to him practically every day in the last decade. CNN expert analysis, shooter was positioned approximately 150 yards from Kirk. After measuring the area where the suspect shot Charlie Kirk from, CNN cartographers and open source intelligence experts say the shooter was positioned approximately 150 yards from Kirk. In an update provided by the FBI and the Utah Public Safety Commissioner earlier today, it was revealed that the suspected shooter arrived on the Utah Valley University campus at 11:52 a.m. local time Wednesday. He appears to be of college age and blended in well on campus, Commissioner Bo Mason said. The gunman went through stairwells and climbed up to a roof to a shooting location, and the commissioner said. Okay. Do I need to maybe I'll just relaunch my whole browser, because I think there's been some updates on New York Times and they're just not showing. Yeah, why does that have to be a headline? Why does everything have to be a that I was first type of thing? I do agree with that. It is kind of who cares? But, the historians probably want to know or whatever. It's just not actually updated. I don't know why it's saying that. Okay, let's see. Candace Owens got a tribute coming. That was her friend. So now the mainstream news has started to pick up the shooter on the roof thing. Like, remember the video we watched yesterday from somebody's like TikTok or whatever of somebody on the roof? Oh, a TikToker visited Rebecca Harrow. Oh my God, I gotta watch Rabbit's video on that too. Okay, well, it's been 2.5 hours. I'm gonna oh, were y'all all in there? I am going to, I guess I'm just gonna come back whenever they do the press conference. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and there's like no updates happening at all anyway. Like no updates. Let me see. Maybe I had other things to talk about. Yeah, it was just other stuff. I'm gonna take a break. I'll come back for the press conference whenever it happens. That's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, neither are opinions, girl. Love you.